I think we're living in a time where there's still a massive gap to democratize this where it should be. But in the past 12 plus years, I've seen a lot improving. And the reality is most of the thyroid labs and the hormonal tests actually are conventional tests, meaning they're mainstream tests that if you ask your doctor, your conventional PCP, GP,
they will do it. They have to do it.
They can do it. They can decline doing it. But if you have a decent relationship with your doctor and if it's clinically appropriate, they should be able to run this panel, even if it's slightly outside of what their routine labs. Because look, the conventional model of care is largely trained to diagnose a disease and match it with the medication. So it's the extra labs, the other labs that we run in functional medicine is slightly superfluous to a conventional medicine doctor because if it's not going to change the treatment, why would they run it? For example, to use the thyroid as an example, they just need a TSH, a thyroid stimulating hormone, and maybe a T4 to give the person that levothyroxine, that Synthroid, that pharmaceutical thyroid replacement hormone. Okay, so that's all that they need. So if we want to look at all the other conventional thyroid labs, they are available. But if the end result's still going to be that medication, then why would they run it?
Got it.
So I understand it from a model side of things. But these are conventional tests. Most of the ones that I'm talking about are very widely accessible and offset through insurance or completely covered by insurance. They just have to be ran and coded appropriately and be clinically appropriate for you. So full thyroid panel, something called thyroid stimulating hormone, like I mentioned, T4. But then what we would add in functional medicine is total T3, something called free T3, free T4, and then what are called thyroid antibodies. The leading drivers of low thyroid function in the West are autoimmune in nature. Hashimoto's disease or autoimmune thyroiditis is the most common autoimmune disease as a whole, let alone the most common driver of low thyroid function. So we have to run thyroid peroxidase and thyroglobulin to see, because it's in that case, it's not truly a primary thyroid problem. The thyroid problem is because the immune system has lost recognition of self again and is attacking it. So, and Graves' disease is the other type of autoimmune thyroid problem. And then I have to run what's called reverse T3, which in states of inflammation, your body can make these basically thyroid brake molecules that slow down thyroid function. So the point being, it's a lot more complex than just a TSH. And to make it more accessible and, that's what we've done for the past 12 years is to try to make this as democratized as it can be, to decentralize this so people can have agency over their health and be empowered with this information. It's their body. Yeah. They have a right to know. So we have different telehealth models to make it accessible for people. And there's a lot of direct-to-consumer labs, to be honest with you. Even if you don't have access to a functional medicine doctor or if you don't want a functional medicine doctor, there are great labs. There's one called Inside Tracker. I have no connection to these brands. Inside Tracker and Base are two that I've had them on my podcast before. They are brilliant, and you don't need a doctor for it. So you could just order it yourself.
I think it's just good to know, right? This is so useful because I think it's good to know what to ask for, what to look for.